Take a look at this blurred image. What do you see?
Whoa, I see 1995 to 98 pay-per-view imagery that I shouldn't be looking at, if you know what I'm saying. But I still tried. They were square. But I still use it.
Trained eye, this image would simply represent color, or an example of the abstract. However, a true expert may have the skill to look deeper and see between the blurred lines. And with just a little bit of enhancement, we may be able to uncover the greatest mystery of all time, Brent Rivera. For those who may not know Brent Rivera, he spent most of his time in the mid-2010s dominating the social media scene, mostly over on Vine.
I know a lot of people are going to be upset with this because I have a lot of fan crossover with Brent Rivera, so sorry for that, guys.
These days, we look back on his older content as some of the highest quality cringe ever released, but we fail to remember that at that time, that was peak. When we look at—
Yeah, true. And also, you know what? There's nothing wrong with being a little cringe, you know? You know, get your bag, brother. That's what I say all the time, like relentlessly and annoyingly. I got 20, I need 11 more. That's what I say all the time.
Outdated terms like YOLO or swag or
YOLO, swag, 420 Air Jordans, baby. That's what I'd say all the time.
We think back to a time when we ourselves exhibited and experienced said behaviors, thereby inducing the cringe that we now experience. But you know who doesn't see things that way?
Boom! What's up, guys, and welcome back.
Ever since the peak of his career, Brent has seemingly been locked in time, meaning in his mind, if it worked in 2015, who's to say it won't work forever? Hopefully today you'll start to get a better look at all this.
I mean, it's still working. Last time I checked, he's getting at least 3 million views a video, so, you know, you gotta give him that much credit. God bless him, am I right?
And what a better way to do that than covering what I believe to be the starting point of his demise, Alexander IRL. This is a YouTube Originals movie that came out in 2017, so as far as time is concerned, this is gonna be some top-tier Brent content. This movie follows two brothers, one who just wants to be cool and throw an epic party, and one who wants to be the next Mark Zuckerberg. But hey, without giving away too much information, I just say we hop in and get this over with. The film opens to Brent, who plays Alex, staring at this girl low in class, accompanied by a blinding amount of lens flare.
Were you just staring at me?
How old was he in this video? You know, doesn't matter.
What's going on over there, Lo?
Oh God, please, no. Well, there's Jason Nash right off the bat, so it looks like we got a criminal in the cast. As all things go in movies for bad people, Alex being a pervert pays off.
I've been in love with you forever.
Are you serious? I thought you didn't know I existed.
How could I not notice a guy in our grade who has 1,000 views on his last League of Legends stream?
Guys, this is a minute and a half into the—
Damn. The League of Legends. Wow. That's the cringiest part of it all. Is that like ironic, or does this guy actually think League of Legends is fucking cool? Because that game's terrible. This guy's definitely said the N-word 400 or 500 times. If you ever played League of Legends, I instantly assume that you are profoundly racist. By the way, guys, I used to be Diamond. I'm just kidding. I never was that good, but I used to play. That's why it's bad. When you play a lot of... I was good at Dota too. But if you play a lot of League and you're bad at it, maybe you should just give up, because it's not helping you or your mental health. It's making it worse. Just saying.
The movie. Minute and a half. Lo reveals that her phone background is a picture of Alex in space, and then we get transported into space with Alex, where Lo shows up to kiss him. Just kidding. Now, normally, I would think a bit like this is really cringy, but because it's been done in countless movies already, it's just unoriginal. Naturally, this is super embarrassing for Alex, but Jason Nash's character, Mr. Eskin, finds it super amusing.
I've heard of online dating, but this is redonkulous.
The cold floor of the jail cell awaits. Mr. Eskin then introduces the class to their final project assignment, Multimedia Me. I would explain what that means, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We then cut back to earlier that morning where Alex is consuming some good old content from his friends at school. He looks through a couple posts, but it's very clear from his dialogue that the filmmakers didn't really give a shit about it making sense.
What? No.
What do you mean, what no? That is a response that you give in utter disbelief. So in order for that to make sense, we would have to assume that until now, Alex didn't know that one of his best friends actually existed in real life. Schizophrenia.
Maybe.
We then move across the wall where we meet, oh shit, Nathan Kress. Their parents are getting ready to go on a week-long anniversary vacation, but hold the phone because Nathan Kress is unbelievably yoked. A pretty cliche parents leaving for vacation sequence takes place, and the dad leaves them with $200 to spend on food for a week.
Damn. W dad, am I right? But I will say there's really nothing... yeah, W that, bro.
Are you serious? He's gonna blow it all on in-app purchases and zit cream.
Wait, that's the guy from iCarly? Wow. His career must be in the fucking shitter. Holy fuck. Why would he do that, ever? That seems like a really big step down, no? Well, you know, I guess you need that money, baby. I guess you need that freaking money, baby.
You tried beating Candy Crush without the golden pineapple, mister.
Wow.
Dude, this is
I think even for 2017,
this is really 2017. Wow, that's even more bad. This is just really loaded with like every single. It seems desperate to make you think that it's like relatable. That's really sad.
This reference is super out of touch. Also, if you've ever spent a single cent on a Candy Crush in-app purchase, I'm just gonna have to assume that your entire personality is crafted from morning television.
I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my
life.
After the parents leave, we cut to EJ at work, and he's important because he's wearing a Bluetooth earpiece.
Come on, man. Don't spit in my face and tell me it's raining. You're my go.
You know, okay. You know what I will say? You guys remember that? You probably don't. It's like really obscure. There's this app called, or a game called Plant X. It was all over TikTok for like a week, and I bought it. It's a cool game, and I paid for, and I started paying for it, and then it was Money Pit, so I had to delete it. So they stopped letting you use ads to get your second life in the game, and they started using diamonds, and I was like, I'm not paying for these diamonds, and I quit. So, just let you know.
Go-to guy, brother.
Hey man, don't talk like that. Now, when I told you EJ was important, I was lying because he's actually the receptionist. Look at this still shot that I found where it looks like EJ's peeing behind the desk while this guy in the background is also grabbing his dick.
Hey, listen. You know, that's probably just how they interacted on those like cartoons, like the iCarly, probably because there's a lot of sassy shit going on there.
Insane. And if you're wondering why I put that in there, it's because it's funny. EJ heads into the conference room to drop off the food that he was ordering on his phone call, and that's all he had to do. But instead he tries to strike up a conversation with the big boss who's in the middle of a conference call, and he gets mad. Then we cut back to class where Lo is wondering how to post an Instagram photo into a document.
Does anyone here know how to paste an Instagram photo into a document? Yes.
Why would you even need to do that? Wouldn't you just, I don't know, copy it, download the photo and put it, what?
Yeah, glad you know, Alex. That is very hard to do. Well, Alex comes over to the table. Lo's friend in plain sight just writes, "What a loser," on her unbranded tablet. Will you be copying and pasting that one too? We then find out that Lo has a nail art account with over 70,000 followers. So
What the fuck is nail art? Why, is this movie just like a big promotion for every social media site that exists in like an attempt to be relatable? Is it like some kind of fucking psyop to promote Instagram to children? I don't understand. This is insane.
this means that she has an entire platform in her hands, but she still can't manage to take a fucking screenshot. Okay, you know, she in this sense is very similar to Mario, a character who has a thick Italian accent, but only ever seems to speak in English. Alex proceeds to embed the Instagram post, but to no one's surprise, that just means copy and paste.
Whoa, you were really good at that.
How many lives did you take in Vietnam, soldier? Back at the office, we're formally introduced to Ellie and Jonathan. Jonathan is a big business creep asshole, and Ellie is not that. In this scene, Jonathan ruthlessly berates Ellie, telling her that she lacks talent. It's very expositional, but also painfully bright, which feels like an attempt at filling the viewer with as little depression as possible. EJ doodles a picture of himself sitting at a desk with his name on it, which is really just a dumb idea for babies. I would argue that this is how a child fantasizes, except instead of a desk, it's more like a race car bed or a battle bus. EJ notices Ellie walking into the room and makes an unnecessarily clumsy attempt to talk to her.
EJ! Oh my
I'm so sorry.
God!
Hang on. I got it.
She looks like she could play that guy's mom. What the fuck? That's weird.
I'm about to show you something that's gonna change your life.
EJ, I don't have
Rich
time for more
dick.
YouTube fail compilations, okay? I have a meeting that I have to
Got
go.
him.
Yeah, imagine making fun of YouTube fail compilations while actively performing in an equivalent. EJ claims that he has $1 billion idea
I mean, I feel like at least the failed compilations are more entertaining. Is this something that's available on YouTube, or how does this work? What the fuck?
that Ellie can't refuse, so she doesn't. And then we're taken back to the school where we're subjected to dialogue so poor that it feels like it might be domestic terrorism.
I have to say, my camera roll from this past year was on fleek. I mean, me and my sister on
Nice.
stage at Comic-Con, and our family trip to Harry Potter World, Expelliarmus.
It was at this point
Damn. So cringe, man. Listen, I know that this is probably a little bit insensitive, but I feel like if you listen, I'm not trying to be that guy. Really not trying to be that guy, but this movie seems to fit like those classic like cringe archetypes. And in those classic cringe archetypes, that black guy is there to be cool. And if you can't even get your black guy to be cool in your fucking movie, where like that's the entire only black guy in the movie, that's his whole point, is to be the cool guy, you failed. That dude's supposed to be the most awesome guy in the whole thing. He's supposed to be, quite literally, the cool black guy. I'm sorry if that's insensitive. I'm just saying, dude. I'm not
watching the film for the first time that I noticed two things. First of all, I'm pretty sure that the backing track to this scene is one of the songs that Casey Neistat used to use. And secondly, you'll start to notice that every shot in the film looks like it was color graded using Instagram filters. In this shot, the color of Brent's lips are the exact same shade as this guy's sweater. So if my filter theory isn't true, then I guess Brent is just dying. Alex is super stressed about the Multimedia Me presentation due to his embarrassing past on social media. He pulls up a few examples and you'll notice that they're all photos that Brent has taken in real life. And this actually makes the film super unique. Because the filmmakers failed to recognize their own travesty, they were able to actually work in their own idea of cringe. To the viewer, this effectively makes the things that are considered cringe by the film standard less cringy than the actual film, which, you know, that's idiotically brilliant. In the lunchroom, the guys look around comparing themselves to other people until they eventually land on this guy, Cole.
And then she said, are you just happy to see me, or is that your phone in your pocket? I didn't have my phone.
I can't tell if my intuition is correct, but I feel like this guy is or was a
I guess he's a huge dick. Can't relate.
Tuber, and the reason that I think that is because, well, you know, he annoys me. Apparently Cole throws awesome parties that are about to be lit AF, and this gives them the idea to throw an epic party of their own while Alex's parents are out of town. Great. At the office, EJ does this thing, which I hate in movies, which is be overly quirky for way too long before being interrupted in the scene.
Camptown racetrack's 5 miles long. Oh, da do da day. Gonna run all night, gonna run all day. I bet my money.
Stuff like this always brings me back to my greatest enemy, which is characters saying and doing
I mean, that's a pretty classic iCarly thing. I think that's like the worst, isn't it? Because like iCarly and those shows like that were made for kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they're clearly, it's like like people who do theater trying to be actors. Like being in theater is very over the top, unrealistic acting type style. And so I feel like that's just something he's never going to be able to unlearn. Like just being an absolute fucking cringe lord, you know? And what a tragedy for him. I'm just saying, it's sad.
Things that would never happen in real life. Normally I'd blame the writers for something like this, but this time I am quaking at the idea that this might be improv. Ellie has returned to let EJ know that every single idea he pitched was actually dog shit, citing ideas like outsmart your fart and lift for couch potatoes. I don't feel a need to explain those because they're not funny. However, he does have one idea that Ellie seems to think is pretty smart.
That little gem came to me when my dad started yelling at me for spending all my free time on my cell phone. And I thought to myself, what if I could develop an app that would encourage you to go offline, but then also conserve electricity?
Okay.
What? What does that even mean? An app that encourages you to go offline but also save electricity? Wouldn't like logically just going offline conserve electricity? Am I right or am I wrong? I don't understand. What a weird thing to say. Okay, interesting.
It might just be me, but hasn't this idea already been attempted multiple times in multiple different ways? Nickelodeon Worldwide Day of Play is a great example. And there was no encouragement about it. They just turned the fucking channel off. So do you mean to tell me that this is the origin story of...
Hold on, you were scrolling for way too long now.
While Ellie likes the idea, EJ doesn't have a prototype, so she tells him that he needs to have one ready by Thursday. Oh my god, Thursday? Well, wait, what day is it now?
Thursday morning then, before the staff meeting.
Thursday. Yeah. Okay,
Cut the scene, cut the scene. In the midst of all of this, EJ has forgotten to pick Alex up at school, forcing him to ride home on the back of Darius's bike. Now here's where the film really starts to entertain me. When the film isn't using YouTube-friendly, royalty-free music, it features a few original songs that sound like they were written by AI. So in an attempt to keep this video copyright-friendly, you know, having fun here, nothing bad, I'm gonna read you the lyrics to the songs as they come, which is arguably more entertaining. I don't want to worry about...
Why don't you read the songs to me as I come? You ever think of it that way?
Nothing for a while. I just want to play around, living like a child, with old tunes, jamming on my Walkman, and some Sour Patch Kids and a Coke. Yeah. Thanks. I'll be sure to bump this one at the next youth group meeting. I can give you a little bit of an idea of what it sounds like too, kind of like. And some Sour Patch Kids and a Coke. Yeah. Also, I don't mean to nitpick, but if you eat enough Sour Patch Kids and Coke together, your mouth is going to be gushing blood. Anyway, EJ returns home and Alex is sitting in the dark all menacingly. Of course, he's mad at EJ because he forgot to pick him up from school, but the reason he forgets makes me wonder if EJ is really even capable of life on his own.
That explains it. I wrote down pick up Alex on my hand, but it's smudged, so I thought it said pick up a locks. Bought all this locks for nothing.
That sucked. That just sucked so bad. At school the next day, Alex and his friends run statistical searches for things that are fun at parties.
I ran a Twitter search for the hashtag sick party. Ooh.
They come up with specifically ping pong balls and piñatas, but honestly, just be a human being for a second. I mean, we're talking about high school students here, right? So even if you've never been to a party in your entire life, you know what alcohol is. You know what drugs are.
Okay.
True. Bring drugs to your high school party. I think that's fucking base, by the way. I'm not even trolling, okay? You should just like, why not? Like, what are you gonna do? Get in trouble? I was drinking when I was like 16 years old, bro. This is all a joke, by the way. But like when I was younger, my mom used to let me drink at like parties, and her logic was, she's there, it's safe, it's controlled, and I'll get out of my system. And now I don't drink alcohol, so that's a joke. I'd never happen, but if it did, I don't drink alcohol anymore, and that's why. So who's actually fucking based? Just saying.
Search out for party planners. I'll put an ad on Craigslist. Darius, keep an eye on low Snapchat.
Absolutely bizarre behavior. You know, I just gave these guys a lot of shit for their understanding of, you know, being, but I guess I spoke too soon because simultaneously, EJ has been searching for mobile app designers that are fast, cheap, and hot. If you showed me this out of context, I would genuinely think this is a prostitution for beginners tutorial. This ushers in a bizarre montage of audition tapes, some from partygoers and some from software developers. Not really sure why people are responding to a Craigslist ad with audition tapes though. Kinda just feels like oversharing if you ask me.
Heard you need a little entertainment.
And yeah, that was Josh Peck. Has he done anything bad yet?
No, that's not Josh Peck. Wow, I thought that was just like the guy at Walmart that's annoying the shit out of me all the time. That was actually Josh Peck. Incredible stuff.
And yeah, that was Josh Peck. Has he done anything bad yet? EJ meets.
He did that. I mean, frankly, I know we're all on a tizzy about Drake Bell doing inappropriate things with children, but after seeing Josh do that, I think maybe we know which one is the worst, brother.
Up with this sketchy Ezra Miller variant in an alleyway who promises to develop the app, and the reason I call him an Ezra Miller variant is because of this.
You're in great hands.
That's fantastic, but I'm sorry, I'm still a little nervous about giving that much money to someone I never met on the internet.
I should make him Ezra Miller, though.
See, the scene is just, it's going on for way too long. This was the final straw for EJ, who finally decides that he's going to enlist the help of Alex and his friend. The guys are pretty reluctant, but they end up cutting a deal with EJ, who finally describes to them what the app is actually going to do.
Basically, we use GE's cloud technology to monitor the town's power grid. When demand surges, everybody's devices turn off.
Okay, so not that they have a choice, but who would willingly agree to this? I can think of a variety of situations where this would cause a problem. Oh no, someone broke into my house. Time to call 911. Oh, wait. Yeah, man, I was looking at those dividends. Those look great. I love the dividends. When we are able to add and subtract things like that, it's great. You know. So after all is said and done, the movie does another super monotonous montage that features coding and this guy 9 that Alex meets in a park.
I feel like I didn't talk nearly enough about this 9 guy. First of all, his name is 9. There's police cars. How could I have ignored the fact that he literally, I think he lives in a children's playground? That's weird. And also he writes Party at Alex Finn's in the Sky, assuming everyone knows who Alex Finn is.
Let's be real. Children's playgrounds are the best place to get drunk. I mean, come on, guys. Because they have the swings and the slidey stuff. I mean, you really can't beat it. And if you can't beat them, join them. Am I right?
Faster. Okay. During this, EJ pitches his app at the office, claiming that they're going to launch the app at a state-of-the-art shutdown party, which if you told me that today, I'd think you're talking about January 6th, part 2. When EJ shares this idea with Alex, Alex gets super upset and thinks that EJ's making this all about him. But to ensure Alex that everything is going fine, EJ says,
Let me show you how a CEO gets things done.
You're just not a CEO, dude. The film has actually proven to us multiple times so far just how incapable of basic life you are. This launches us into yet another confusing sequence, which is a low-budget tutorial video on how to throw a party. It's shot like a school project, and it's just super dumb. But somehow everyone starts to find out about the party, including Lyft, like with the cars. But based on
Lyft finds out, not Uber. Couldn't even get Uber to fucking sponsor your video. I think that we figured out the real issue. If you gotta get Lyft. Oh, I did Uber and Lyft before. They're all right. It was a little rough, but hey, what are you gonna do? Size is life, brother.
Alex's reply, I'm gonna assume that he has no idea what Lyft even is. That doesn't matter though, because now Alex is the big cheese, walking through the hallways looking like an absolute moron.
Alexander Fitt!
Oh boy. Turns out that even Mr. Eskin has caught word of the party, but what's more concerning to me right now is the fact that I'm having—
Wait, Mr. Azkaban? Who is this guy? Isn't that guy, didn't he date Trisha Paytas? What's this guy's name?
To watch a one-on-one scene between Brent Rivera and Jason Nash.
Not gonna bust your party, dude. Really? You're not? Dude, come on! Who else do you remember who you're talking to?
Yeah, I remember. A criminal.
I do need to ask you a question.
Is he really?
And I need you to be 100% straight with me.
Okay, all right.
Is it cool if I roll through?
Wow, man, this film has aged horribly.
Damn, that's not good, bro. Why would you want to go to a party with a bunch of kids drinking? Or are they drinking? Were they drinking? If they weren't, they're losers. But then that kind of makes him a really suspicious character from a popular video game Among Us. For him to want to do that, it's a little weird.
Now it's time to get ready for the party. Alex and Stu test out outfits together, and then the most horrific thing of all time happens.
I just wanted to give you a kiss. Oh. Whoa. I love you.
If the idea is for Alex to get the girl in
Did
the
you
end,
just jerk off?
we have to want to root for him, right? How are we supposed to do that when he's planning to shut her up mid-sentence and send her to Suck City? After trying on about 6 different outfits, Alex decides on a plain black shirt. Holy shit. Right before party time, they have a little powwow in the living room where we get our first and only funny interaction in the movie.
You work in security, man. Keep everybody out of the front yard. Make sure that nobody gets in unless they've downloaded the app and their dad is disabled.
No disabled people, got it.
It's not what I said.
Right before EJ leaves, though, they discover a pretty
And there's dad is disabled. That was kind of funny, actually. Yeah, true. Nice.
major issue with the app.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? We have full access to people's phones.
Well, that's not great. EJ heads out for his big business dinner, and let me tell you, he rides the absolute—
My face went China. You know what I mean, guys? On TikTok, right? Am I right? Come on. Get
fuck out of this Escalade. Okay, now back to the app issue.
Do you think that they're going to handle it responsibly or not?
Let me hit a lick and just get like 5 minutes to peruse a few girls' albums.
Not.
Based on a recently watched on Netflix.
The worst part is like, it's obviously wrong. You shouldn't be trying to look through their phones, but like, if I was a young kid and I had access to all these girls' phones, I would be looking for their fucking nudes too. This is terrible. It's just a sad reality, man. You know what? You would too. Because we're all disgusting. Men are gross, man. Men are pigs. Am I right, girls? Am I right, ladies? Am I right, ladies? Men are freaking disgusting. Got to do something about them.
We got Rick and Morty, Archer, Parks and Rec, and Workaholics. She likes all the same shows I do.
Okay, well, congratulations on naming 4
That's what they did. They looked at the shows that they liked. Oh, these guys are nerds.
shows, none of which are on Netflix. Also, if Rick and Morty is on that list, you better be ready for her to whip out one of these bad boys. And for those who know, that's a very, very bad thing to own. But I guess that's all it took for Alex to quickly change his mind and furiously scroll through Lowe's phone like he's playing Subway Surfers. Back over at the dinner, EJ, real CEO by the way, struggles to get an internet connection and does the classic phone to the sky for Wi-Fi bit. It's not a revolutionary bit by any means, so I'd like to know why it goes on for a total of 25 seconds. The big boss loves it though, so just let's hope that goes well for him.
Our business is like a shark. If we're not moving forward, we die, which is why I'm always looking for the next big thing. Carrot!
Yeah, so he's a maniac, and for the rest of the movie, that's about all this character does, so we're just gonna leave him be. The other guy they're meeting, who's a writer for some reason, brings up the question that we've all been having.
Every kid I know is glued to their phones. How are you gonna make them turn them off?
Look, I was part of the last generation to grow up without the internet.
That's a stretch. Okay,
this is like actually like a boomer like thing. Like all these kids are on their phones. How do we stop it? It's just kind of boomerish, no? I mean, we do have to stop these kids. We have to beat them up, but it's just fucking boomery.
This movie takes place in 2017, and he's supposed to be 24. That means he was born in 1993. The internet was technically created in 1989, and if we want to get...
Yeah, but I feel like, I mean, that's not that bad. It's not the generation taking over by their phones. That's what I think the point was there. Which I can kind of agree with. It takes a while. I didn't get my first cell phone until I was like 20 years old, bro. It's crazy. Well, 16, I had like a flip phone, but you get my point.
More specific, Google was created in 1998. So by the time he was in high school, the internet had already been advancing at a rapid rate, but EJ seems to want us to think that he was off fighting world wars. Somehow, though, he ends up convincing them, leading us to our first lesson in the film, lying is good. Back at the house.
Now, again, that one is like actually true, though. Like that one's actually kind of true. Like, because I'm at my age, like I wasn't like on my phone either, you know? Like, so he's only 3 years younger than me, it seems like.
The party is pumping.
They said 93. Yeah, most people didn't really have internet. That's when you had to like pay it, like AOL and shit. It was fucking bizarre as hell. It was a hell of a time, fellas. A hell of a time. Gotta love it.
By that, I mean everyone is doing the same up and down dance motion. It's very unsettling. Alex walks into a room and there's a bunch of people giving massages and doing like Reiki treatment. What happens next, I can't really put into words, but this guy essentially possesses Stu, and that makes Alex...
Tonight, you're a man, AJ.
I swear to God, I'm not taking this clip out of context. In fact, this is the second time in one film that we've had to watch Brent Rivera.
We've been doing bangers like this for a minute.
Awesome.
Here, come on, I'll tell you all about it.
That works, by the way, because they immediately go upstairs and then Alex pulls out his stalker material and attempts to relate to Lo.
So, what TV shows do you like? Because, you know, I'm a big fan of Parks and Rec, Ricky and Morty, Workaholics, and Archer.
Wow, man.
Say Ricky and Morty? Jesus Christ.
And you sure know how to light up a conversation. Also, if Rick and Morty is truly one of your favorite shows, then what's...
You really can't admit that you like Rick and Morty in public, because it's cringe. Like, the show's not bad. But I personally hate it because it's just so cringe. Not because of the whole weird Jeff Roland, whatever, Seth Roland, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't care. It's just because it's like cringe. People who like, oh, Pickle Rick, that's not funny. It's it gives me a chuckle offline, but like, you're really gonna go say Pickle Rick online? Like that's literally like that line. Once something is popularized by emo kids, it's not funny anymore, dude. Okay, Pickle Rick.
What's with this Ricky and Morty business?
Ricky and Morty.
It would make sense if he was trying to intentionally act dumb, but that's the exact opposite of what he's trying to do. And trust me, I've looked at this from every single angle, but since it's starting to make me angry, we're just gonna give this one the seal of idiocy. And it turns
you used to be limited in your number of texts per month. True. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's crazy, man. You'd only get so many texts, and you'd only get so many minutes. I remember, like, I had my ex-girlfriend, like my girlfriend at the time. We used to fall asleep on the phone together. And like, oh, this is so cringe. Like, we would fall asleep on the phone together. We had nighttime minutes or whatever, but I guess we accidentally left it on too long. So there's like one time where we had to pay like $400 on the phone bill just for being on the phone. It's crazy, man. What a weird world.
Turns out that I made the right choice because these aren't Lo's favorite shows, they're her little brothers. So that for me raises two questions. Number one, whose phone was he looking at? And number two, why was he getting so excited? We've got bigger problems at this moment though because the grumpy old neighbor is coming over to gauge the vibes.
You gotta end the party now, man. Stop playing. Tell everybody to go home.
I got an idea.
Evidence. You know, at this point, the film, it just has to be canon to real life. I mean, Jason Nash he's playing himself. But here's what they do, and it's really stupid. When the neighbor comes to the door, Alex holds him off while Mr. Eskin gets into position behind the blinds. Considering the fact that he's only seen in silhouette, you'd think they'd just have him speak through the window. But no.
The boys have some people over because I've been hearing this noise.
No, we're about to hit the hay.
Are you sure?
No,
Oh, so it's a recording. Then why, pray tell, did you have to use Mr. Eskin of all people? I'd say there's a solid 50 people at this party. That's a low estimation. So I don't understand why they didn't just grab the closest guy. This movie has a horrible habit of setting up situations that could make complete sense, yet they choose to try and take what they believe to be the funny route, and it just ends up being bad. When that all works out, the next 2 minutes of the film are taken up by the entirety of another bad song. Now, 2 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but when you consider the fact that this isn't a musical and it's nothing but a party montage, it gets pretty boring. So let's read the lyrics to this song. Oh boy, here we go. Dance when the bass hit. Dab on a spaceship.
No, dude, this is fire.
Me and all my homies going hard. I'm hella high, bruh. I cannot lie, bruh. I've got that mad look in my eye, bruh. Pretty saucy stuff,
Wow.
yeah. But there's 2 more lines that I just
Sounds like he's on bath salts. Holy fuck.
need to point out. Got your main thing looking at us like, what's up? Spinning all these bad soldiers. What in God's name could that mean? And just to prove to you that I'm not making this up, I'm gonna
What is spinning all your bachelors? What would that mean?
play that
No,
last
what
line,
does
that
mean?
little sliver. At the end of the dinner, EJ at
Killing people? Is he in a gang?
the last minute decides to
What
drop
gang?
the fact that the shutdown party they're going to is in fact a high school party.
Now that's what I call a killer instinct, huh?
All right, folks, there's another criminal for the list. Hater ass Jonathan is not letting this one slide though, so he narcs on the party.
I'd like to report an out-of-control party next door. Yeah, definitely underage drinking.
Damn.
Possible drugs.
Hey, at least this guy knows how a high school party works. Back at the party, an announcement
True.
is made that the 3 hours of shutdown time has officially ended. Mr. Eskin freaks out and encourages the crowd to continue the shutdown, and then the most painfully corny moment in any movie I've ever watched commences.
Hey, before you power down, you want to take a selfie?
Definitely.
Okay, so what I want you to do is just take me out to see the flowers and then
Whoa! He kissed a girl.
just drive that nail gun into the back of my head. Anyway, this is happening in the bathroom.
And that was very passionate. I feel like I was so nervous on my first kiss. I was like, I started crying. I just didn't cry, but I was so nervous. How are you just gonna fucking riz up a girl like that? It's so unrealistic. What the fuck's happening?
God, you're so sexy.
Can we ignore that and move on? Cool. Up in Alex's room, the guys have an argument
I think we need to do a deep dive on that. What the hell happened?
about the fact that the party is going exactly how they wanted it to, which is, once again, fucking whatever. Unfortunately for them, Cole overhears the fact that they've been snooping on Lo's phone, so he immediately tells her.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this.
I know. It's just, I thought he was one of the good guys.
He's not a good guy. He plays League of Legends and he jacks off, and that's it. In fact, he
Well, that's most young men nowadays. Huh?
probably does both at the same time. Right as EJ and his crew show up, Mr. Eskin prepares for his one-way ticket to jail right as the cops show up.
Don't tase me, bro! Don't tase me, bro! That was the first money in Facebook!
Well, that sucked. Morning after, EJ and Alex, who now has no friends by the way, have a brotherly conversation that I don't care about. Then their parents return home and everything goes off without a hitch. Back at school, Alex does this slow-mo walk past a bunch of people and they all look at him like he's wearing a shirt covered in slurs. Because of this, Alex
What? Slurs?
goes recluse mode for the next 24 hours, backed by a song that just says, "You can trust me with your body," over and over again. When you put a song in a movie, it's supposed to make sense, by the way. But here we are. The day has finally come to give the multimedia me presentation. When it's time for Alex to go up, he attempts to make amends with his peers by giving a presentation that just makes him look like a fool.
In doing so, I realized I'm not cool.
Yeah, no shit, buddy. Look at some of these photos he pulls out. We got Titanic, LOL, Nerd Alert, and this picture, which is clearly just a photo of the guy playing Stu with
Is that? I feel like I know that guy. He looks familiar.
Brent Rivera photoshopped in. God, talk about a meaningful friendship, huh? All of a sudden, EJ's business people show up, and then Alex's speech transitions into an Apple-esque keynote speech. Perhaps I should cut the esque, though, because here comes EJ dressed as Steve Jobs. Then guess what happens? Alex appears
He dies. I don't know. Does he take his shoes off and show his feet? Like
again, dressed as Steve Jobs. Together they reveal a shocking statistic that is that in
they are Steve Jobs.
just one night, they managed to get over 10,000 app downloads only by word of mouth. How? And that's basically how the movie ends.
Wait, how? What do you mean? The 10,000? They only had like a couple hundred people at the party. This is so confusing.
EJ gets his project funded, and Alex managed to win back the trust of his friends, dressed as Steve Jobs. But do you want to know what happens at the very end?
Well, I heard Steve Jobs was very good to his friends, guys. So.
Selfie time. Let's just live in the moment. Nah! Yo, get it right here.
Damn, they didn't even learn a lesson.
Wait,
What the fuck?
so, what? So you mean to tell me that the entire point of this film was to encourage people to put their phones down every now and then, but at the end they just say, nah? Well, I'm in shambles. But that's all I got for you today. No sponsor. Fuck it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and comment and subscribe, and unsubscribe from Brent Rivera. You know, surprisingly, I didn't get to hate on Brent in the actual movie
This happened like right before Brent started acting like a sussy baka, so it's kind of funny.
nearly as much as I thought I did. I really just didn't like Nathan Kress's character. Everyone else was just either really bad or just not important enough to talk about, so... But guys, look, I'm awesome now. There's no microphone in view, so you just get to see me, and I got a sign with my name on it. As always, that's all I have for you.
They have those at Five Below, I think.
Today, folks, but until next time, guys, I just looked it up. Jason Nash is 49. My God.
Hey, he was like 42 there, or 44 or something. I don't know. He's not that old at that point, okay, guys. 40 is the new 50, and that's at least what I heard. All right, cool video.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.